CEO. Often sought for her energy and innovative approach, Kara has demonstrated leadership on every stage, from the town council meeting to Capitol Hill. The following are a few examples of Kara's involvement and advocacy. Member of 2 Neighborworks America committees, the Comprehensive Community Development Advisory Committee, Initiatives Advisory Committee, and the PR, Public Relations Advisory Committee. And she has presented at multiple symposiums, national symposiums across the country, including with Neighborworks America as part of Women's History Month. Kara's been an annual participant in our YAY, Legislative Day, and clearly has been instrumental in securing Senator Collins' support, not just support, but love of Neighborworks America. And she has been very engaged on the Hill over the last couple of years with really developing that relationship between NNA and Senator Collins. She's also a board member and audit committee member for Community Housing Capital and incorporator of Northern Light Health, an expansive integrated healthcare system in Maine. She's vice chair of the Acadia Hospital Board of Trustees, a psychiatric hospital, advisory board member of the Schmidt Institute, an innovative and research arm of 2 local community health institutions, a member of Alliance for Addiction and Mental Health Services, a statewide membership association, member of Community Health Leadership Board, a collaborative healthcare and service organizations. She also established a Community Health Leadership Board subcommittee focused specifically on the needs of local youth and facilitate stakeholder meetings to prioritize those issues. She also is a graduate of the inaugural John T. Gorman Foundation Fellowship and has helped them as they interview other potential fellowship awardees. She's facilitated a citywide discussion to better address affordable housing needs. She's initiated meetings of area food pantries and Good Shepherd Food Bank to identify ways to improve access to food and respond to needs resulting from government shutdowns. She's helped write legislation to support assisted living services across the state. She's raised awareness of and funding for recovery services by participating in the 2018 Over the Edge event, rappelling, this is like amazing. I remember you told me about this. Rappelling 57 feet from the top of the Cross Insurance Center in a superhero costume. Partnering with 2 healthcare organizations to determine feasibility of making healthy home interventions. She's covered medical expenses by public and private payers in order to reduce healthcare costs and improve health. And Kara has been engaged in the Sustainable Communities Innovation Challenge after being selected to advance to the 3rd stage of review. The project has the support of state and national leaders, including Senator Collins and King. Kara has maintained Penquis' reputation as a high-performing and financially strong organization while deepening Penquis' impact through increased capacity building and new and expanded partnerships. In January 1 of this year, 2019, a merger between Penquis and the Charlotte White Center took place, facilitated by Kara. The CWC provided residential outreach and counseling services to people affected by cognitive or developmental disabilities and behavioral mental health challenges, domestic violence, or acquired brain injuries. The merger was the culmination of 2 years of discussions between the 2 boards. The last year, which Kara served as president and CEO of both organizations under a management agreement. Penquis continues to demonstrate financial strength. In fiscal year 18, revenues hit a record $42.4 million. And the January 1 merger with the Charlotte White Center has increased its annual grant-driven income by $13 million, contributing to a current fiscal year 19 operating budget of $60 million. Since Kara became CEO, revenues have doubled. I'm going to start like sending applications. The merger increased staffing by 63%, so they went from 400 employees to 650 employees today. All Charlotte White Center staff were added to Penquis with no job loss, and since Kara assumed leadership of Penquis, the number of staff has increased by 89%. Penquis is fiscally responsible and accountable and has continued to receive exemplary ratings from NeighborWorks America Organizational Health Tracking System. With statewide reach and more than 50 programs offered across 70 locations, Penquis assists nearly 18,000 people annually to become safe, stable, connected, and financially secure. In alignment with its comprehensive community development approach, Penquis provides a wide range of programs and services to help individuals and families achieve economic security, affordable housing, reliable transportation, school readiness, and healthy lives. These programs and services include a variety of housing, energy, transitional housing, residential care, home and business lending, child care, parenting education support, behavioral health and disability support, transportation, and think about this. Because of that rural population, all of these services are really vital to the state. On average, Penquis facilitates 13 million miles of transportation each year. Okay, it's equivalent to traveling to the moon and back, just saying. Kara has advanced the implementation of a whole family approach to services within Penquis across all of Maine's community action agencies. And after spearheading the Maine Community Action Association's adoption of a whole family approach as a priority, Kara has led Penquis' implementation of a new centralized database, Empower, and fostered program coordination to erode departmental silos. After integrating a results-based accountability approach throughout Penquis, Kara introduced RBA to the work of community collaborations, ensuring that the data drives the development and evaluation of community solutions in housing, youth development, and other areas addressed by stakeholder groups. Penquis is increasing its capacity to address community needs through participation in national learning communities, and Penquis has been selected to participate in 4 learning communities dedicated to improving community health collaborations, integrating social determinants of health and healthcare delivery using data and software applications to inform community planning and service delivery strategies, and developing new entrepreneurial revenue streams to enhance business sustainability. Penquis was recently selected by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to receive training and technical assistance to prepare Penquis and its community partners to integrate financial empowerment and capability strategies into existing service delivery models. This approach will transform how Penquis and other providers support individuals to becoming self-sufficient. Penquis negotiated the purchase of its corporate office building, which is occupied since 1984, and they got, Kara helped get the landlord to contribute $250,000 to close that deal. Under Kara's leadership, Penquis established new and expanded partnerships, increasing these services, and here are just some of the accomplishments. The merger, as I mentioned, at the Charlotte White Center, acquired mental health and substance abuse treatment licenses, and then added residential outreach and counseling services. As a member of the local Community Health Leadership Board, Kara worked to support access to Narcan, and we all know it created housing options for those in recovery and improving access to substance use disorder treatment and recovery services. Penquis was selected by Mercy Hospital in Portland, Maine as a partner to expand their women's recovery shelter model to the Bangor area. They received a DOJ grant of $630,000 to bring a more community-wide approach to addressing the needs of children affected by the opioid crisis, secured a $7.6 million, 9% low-income housing tax credit, and other financing for 39 units of new construction, implemented Community Investors, a new collaborative community project that provides a mechanism for philanthropic-minded individuals to provide tangible support to families facing crises where there's no other assistance available. initiated Penquis' provision of reentry services, securing grants to support people returning to community life, selected as the 2018 Nonprofit of the Year by the Bangor Regional Chamber of Commerce, and Penquis was selected as the 2018 Rural Transportation System of the Year of the Community Transport Association. Penquis has expanded the Children's Advocacy Center by securing funding to establish a rural satellite site, increasing access to services for child victims of sexual abuse and their families. Secured funding to pilot the Bridges Out of Poverty training with members of Bangor's low-income K-Park community. Secured funding to improve local efforts to address food insecurity. Expanded youth development work by securing funding from the Maine Department of Corrections to provide restorative justice services. Partnering with a local psychiatric hospital to pursue integrated care for children. Facilitated discussions between Knox County stakeholders and Penobscot Community Health Center to explore the feasibility of establishing a federally qualified health center in Knox County, and working with State of Maine to implement the best practice model for supervised visit coaching and assessment services. So please join me.
How deeply appreciative we are, and I am focused on it. I'm really kind of teary, and it just means a lot. And I also feel an enormous amount of pressure right now because, this morning we heard, let's see if I get the line exactly. Try not to bore the hell out of folks. I'm feeling that, especially after that introduction. And then Lou twice has told me in the last 24 hours, last year's award winners, their presentations were great. Right. So I'm feeling this amazing amount of pressure to engage you all and to just show our appreciation and connect you to the work while being funny and engaging. How do I do that, right, in a few minutes? And I think I have a plan, but it's pretty out of the box. So are you with me? Yeah. You're live, and come on, a little more convincing. Okay, so, oh God, this is risky. So, Lou let me know the bar was set for how to accept an award when last year Blanca took the stage and sang some phenomenal chords. Yeah, so here's the thing. I really can't sing. And trust me, you don't want me to try. You'd shake your heads, your ears would bleed, you may even break down and cry. But I'm from Maine, and in my state, we simply won't be outdone. And I have found another way to give thanks while having some fun. So within just the next minute or two, my hope is to be entertaining to you. To speak my heart and keep in time, I'll speak our word of thanks in rhyme. Just to be clear, for better or worse, I'm about to give our thanks in verse. So please sit back and relax, take a breath, watch the show. I'm about to get started. Hold on tight. Here I go. This is our moment to give a quick thanks. I promise I'll be quite brief. There are many here who rock the work out, your efforts beyond belief. And at the end of this day, we're gathered together to honor the work we all do, to strengthen our country, to boost those around us, to make sure that no one falls through. We're builders and planners, bankers and lenders, committed nonprofit leaders, community shapers, bold innovators, and Lou, talented funding pleaders. Throughout this whole room, heart, talent, and drive, people I deeply admire, Marietta and Lou, Peggy and Jessie too, Jeff Eaton and Mr. Krameyer. We're all here together, leading the way in the Omni Shoreham, so posh. We're selling our story, our hustle, our pitch, while chewing away on some nosh. Good. Please pardon my prattle, ignore tiny quips. Clearly I stray, I digress. This is a moment to celebrate Penquis, and our team deserves nothing less. Penquis is serving the great state of Maine. Of our strength, you've certainly heard, and even when faced with the toughest of times, will not let our work be deterred. Our approach, all-embracing, our geography vast, we don't do anything small. From rides to homes, to health to loans, we offer a bit of it all. At the start of this year, we grew quite a bit when 2 agencies turned into one, aligning our work and growing our reach. Together, we're getting it done. There's also one stat that I need to share. It simply must be noted. So impacting and enormous, it's one that's often quoted. The distance of the rides we give each year, I can share with glee, is the distance from the Earth to the moon and back, times 33. My 12-year-old Sam has let me know he thinks it's pretty loony that our link spans across the year trek it to the moony. With a staff of 650 extremely bold goals and programs that count many dozen, we're building a bridge for thousands each day, lifting again and again. On a side note, with such a large staff, please quietly hear me say, having the chance to be here today in DC, A-okay. Filming a movie, dancing a jig, sporting braids for the Wizard of Oz, jumping off buildings, Lord knows what's next. Anything for the cause. That's who we are. It's what we believe. Penquis is thankful to serve, and we'll stop at nothing to raise mayors up. It's something that we all deserve. We'll fight for our people. We'll help lead the charge. Penquis is here when we're needed. A business loan, a place to call home, and ensuring that all homes are heated. A ride of a links, eliciting ear, carefully teaching young children. Financial support, assistance at court, and family supports when they need them. Foreclosure prevention, home buyer ed, classes and business guidance, children or seniors or somewhere between will meet the needs of our clients. This is why we're here, to help people up, to support, guide, and lift is our core. For 52 years, we've helped those in need, and we will be for 50 years more.